Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal, bringing you the latest and greatest Mr. Informal Podcast. We are on podcast 177. Man, 177. Such a lucky number. So please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, MRINFORMAL.com. And with that, I just want to greet you very, very happy days or happy day. Hopefully you are healthy. Hopefully you are doing great. We are on, daylight savings time, extra hour, but you get used to it. I'm not happy about it because now if you're working, you get to go home one night instead of extra daylight. This is why I prefer summer. And so these are the 4 topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 177. Number 1, Crocs on the resale market. That's going to be interesting. Number 2, credit cards. More people are using them credit cards. And not only that, people last year have not paid their credit card bills. Number 3, will crypto payment be accepted in fashion? Probably sooner than later. Number 4 is the metaverse. Now that Facebook has called themselves Meta, I'm sure a lot of the big tech firm is going to follow. Do not be surprised, and I'll talk about that. And so those are the 4 topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 177. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So for the first topic of this podcast is from retaildive.com. Crocs tread up partner on resale. Yes, you heard that right. Crocs is deciding to maybe sell, or maybe people who have Crocs can resell their items at ThredUp. But I'm sure there's going to be more. Crocs is jumping in the resale market through a partnership with ThredUp. Crocs customer can generate a prepaid shipping label on ThredUp website, fill it with apparel, shoes, and accessories from any brand, and ship it to ThredUp for free according to press release Thursday. Products that pass a quality inspection will be listed on ThredUp's platform, and sales will receive Crocs shopping credit. The credit can be used to purchase items in Crocs store or its website. Customers are encouraged to donate Crocs, but they are not required to participate in the program according to the companies. Later on in the year, a customer will be able to pick up a thread cleanup out kit. Select stores in U.S. Crocs said the partnership is part of its larger commitment to become a net zero company by 2030. So it's not just resale, but it's also sustainability. So over 700 million pairs of Crocs have been sold worldwide since the company launched in 2002. And some of those pairs are sitting in consumers' closets just waiting for a second life. Crocs shoes are incredibly durable and perfectly built for a second life, so encouraging customers to consider the reuse is extremely important to us, Michelle Poole, brand president at Crocs, said in a statement. So, there you go. Will you buy a second-hand Crocs? I wouldn't, but I know there are people out there who would. Not only that, there are also people who bought Crocs and never wore it, so instead they need to sell it. And there are many people like that, and I'm sure there are also buyers that will buy that, whether it be in ThredUp or somewhere. There could be also limited edition Crocs that could be sold, so it could go. So the possibility of making money is basically endless from here. Now, I'm surprised that Crocs has taken this long to even do this. They couldn't think of this 3 years ago. Why now? Why were they looking for some kind of partnership with other brands out there? So I'm not entirely sure, but they're doing it now. Maybe it's because that they had a record-breaking profits or estimated revenue from last year, even this year. So maybe that's why they have more cash flow to do it, and so they're probably gonna do this. Not only that, they also want to show the consumer that they are sustainable and want to commit to their net zero by 2030. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, but we'll see. Anything can happen. But certainly, Crocs is starting to be everywhere. There's going to be trends. I'm not a fan of it. I do do like their flip-flops, but I don't like the Crocs that you normally see. Now, for kids or even toddlers or babies, yeah, they're cute. But again, it's not something for me. But hey, there are trillions of people out there, so there will always be a market for Crocs. Not only that, they come in different colors. Now, what worries me is that, there are people who's just gonna send dirty looking Crocs without thinking twice. They're just gonna unpeel the shipping label and just ship it in a box, not even clean. So, not only that, ThreadUp has announced collaboration with companies including Madewell, Walmart, Everlane, Farfetch, Gap, Adidas, and now Crocs. So ThreadUp is doing well in terms of diversifying their clientele, and so this is going to be great news. And so we'll see how the secondhand market of Crocs will do. Now I wouldn't be surprised if it does well, because secondhand market for shoes are doing great, and so they're gonna have a lot of interesting demographics soon. So second topic is from retaildive.com. Nearly 30% of consumers haven't paid off credit cards from last holiday season, per report. As buy now pay later platforms boom in the US, only around 18% of consumers said they're paying for the Halloween holiday gifts using installment payment services, according to a new NerdWallet survey. Of the shopper using buy now pay later options, 36% millennials are using the service, followed by 22% of Gen Z shoppers, 18% of Gen X, and 3% of the baby movers, the survey found. 29% of the respondents who put their holiday gifts on a credit card in 2020 said they haven't paid off those purchased from last year. 75% said they plan to pay this year's gift with their credit cards. So, okay. Consumers participate, charging an average of $620 to a credit card this year. The survey found that 68% of consumers are worried supply chain issues could cause big ticket items they want to be out of stock, up from 58% shoppers concerned about out of stocks last year. So they're gonna pay their credit card debt with another credit card. Not only that, baby boomers are quite smart. 3% of the baby boomers have used buy now pay later. Basically is that if you don't have the money, don't spend, don't shop. Not only that, do not use credit cards. It's not even, that concept is not even that hard. Now, later on the article, as shoppers consider their holiday spending, leftover credit card debt from last year's shopping may indicate how pandemic has impacted people's finances. Research suggests that some consumers don't see their financial situation improving soon. A recent report from Alvarez and Marcel's Consumer Retail Group indicated that over half of consumers, 52%, expect their circumstance and their family's outlook to remain the same or worsen over the next 6 months. So why is it that you still want to do that type of payment? Buy now and pay later. It doesn't make absolute sense. So look, in the human nature of things, this is pretty simple, cut and dry. If you don't have the money, don't buy. If you only have a limited amount of budget, then budget it right. I mean, is it that hard to actually budget? Be on a tight budget? The whole world understands that if you're on a tight budget, things are still not looking great. Things are not on the upward trending. I mean, it looks slow on the upward trend, but we still don't know what will happen later this year or even early next year as of 2022. And so, I mean, Americans are not the only one, but Americans should know better, or even just humans alone should know better. If you've been to school, you take accounting class, you take financial class, or any type of finance, it's pretty obvious. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Don't go shopping. Don't use a credit card if you don't have the money to pay for it. If you still have the stimulus money and you are able to shop without any compromise in your rent, in your mortgage, or any type of bill, then you go ahead and use it. But if it's going to be a compromise, then that's when you have to think about it. Don't just suddenly use credit cards just because of that. So with this, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens this year too, where as of the year 2022, people haven't paid off their credit card from Christmas 2021. That would not surprise me, because apparently people just can't stop shopping, or people are so scared that they might miss their favorite items come Christmas. On to the third topic, crypto payments. Yes, will the world of fashion accept crypto? I know tech has accepted crypto, but in a general sense, they have. But what about the fashion? The fashion industry have accepted PayPal. They have accepted Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. But what about cryptocurrency? Honestly, it's just a matter of time when they will do that. And if they do, all the prices of cryptocurrency will go up high, way up, all the way to the moon, to the Mars, where we will see Emperor Elon Musk in Mars. Maybe moon is not the right destination. Maybe Mars is the destination. So it's just a matter of time. I don't know when. It could be tomorrow, next year. It could be in 2 years, 3 years. But it's just a matter of time until the whole fashion world accept cryptocurrency, whether it be Dogecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, and this hot new thing, Saitama, or Cardano, Solano. I mean, the list goes on and on. Honestly, this cryptocurrency is just no different from global currency, whether it be the Canadians, Baht, Yuan, Won, the Yen. It's basically the same thing. It's just different exchange rate. I think the hardest part about it is that the exchange rate, certainly, or maybe there's going to be people. I know the feds want to monitor that type of thing. Certainly, I wouldn't want to. This is why blockchain should always be private, but for some reason, is not being private. Everyone seems to know what transaction is what's happening. I do know that the fashion world is doing some NFTs, but it's not there. In the general way, it's not really a way of paying it, a payment method. I'm talking about actual goods. Or we're going to the store, and if they could accept certain type of cryptocurrency. Imagine the world of, instead of paying cash, you use your cryptocurrency that you invested in. Wouldn't that be nice? Certainly, I still prefer cash. Cash is king to me. I like the feel of paper itself, and I like the feeling of having a physical items that you could actually be maybe happy about. But certainly cryptocurrency, it seems like, will be the future, or could be a currency that will complement cash. And depending on the exchange rate or the value of it, I know cryptocurrency is quite volatile. It's not ready for prime time, but what currency right now is not volatile? The dollar is weak. Heck, the whole worldwide currency is weak right now. Everyone is depending on the dollar. If the dollar is weak, some certain type of, most of the economy in the world are not doing great because the dollar is weak. So in the fashion world, it's gonna take their time to adopt cryptocurrency or to accept cryptocurrency. But at the same time, I do think it's just a matter of time until they start accepting it. Metaverse. So as you know, Facebook have changed their name to Meta. Mark Zuckerberg have also talked about the metaverse, meaning Facebook is not just a social media company, but they are also a video company, an ad platform, a data seller, selling your data to customers such as the fashion world and maybe the government too. And they also have actual physical goods such as the Oculus, VR basically. They are also having an e-commerce platform. So you got multiple types of services that Facebook have created, aka the metaverse. Now, who also falls in line with this? Well, Google. Google is also going to be naming themselves the metaverse, where they are not just a search engine, they also are an app maker, operating system maker, a device maker. I mean, all kinds of goods and services. Apple also falls in line with this, where they're not only a software maker, but they are also making services. Now you're starting to know what I mean. A lot of these companies are going to start popping up and be all in tune with this new it word, the metaverse. Now, will these metaverses going to talk to each other? You know, will Google start talking to Facebook in terms of messaging apps? Probably not. But hey, that's how it's going to be. You're going to provide multiple services as a brand to the customers or to the consumers. And this whole metaverse thing is, honestly, I'm 50-50 on it, because the metaverse is like a monopoly. I wouldn't want it to be that way, because look at what Facebook's doing. They basically own WhatsApp. They also own Instagram. And then you have Google. They own Android OS. You know, they're also monopolizing that. Same thing with, they're also YouTube. Same thing with Apple. They're also monopolizing, especially the Apple Store. And so there's gonna be a lot of things that's happening. I'm not a fan of it, because there's just too much control of certain applications or certain services that these brands should not control. Same thing with Apple. Heck, Tesla, you can even say, is a metaverse. It's not just a car company, a solar company. They may be a chip maker in the future. They're also a battery maker. So, I mean, this goes on and on. But, I mean, it's nice to have a one unifying system for one company, but at the same time, it is scary to think that we are seeing these types of brands becoming more just one or two type service company. Because I do feel as though these companies are getting away with way too many illegal stuff. And so that basically concludes this Mr. Informal Podcast 177. I hope you enjoy your time with me, listening to me from beginning to end. And certainly, please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. And please, I am thankful that you listened to me from beginning to end. Hopefully you gain some insights and hopefully you learn something. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.